Hi, I'm Shannon Anderson. I am an author and a teacher, and today I have some ideas for you for some physical challenges. So some ways to get you moving, but also some ways that you can be creative because we're all going to have different things at our homes. So you can decide based on the supplies that you have what things you can do and what things you can adapt. So the first game I have for you is, well, you've heard of ping pong. Well, this is balloon pong. So I have a balloon that I've blown up, and then I just dropped a paper towel, cardboard tube. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create a paddle like you would have for ping pong, only it doesn't need to be like super sturdy and made out of wood because you're just hitting a balloon with it. And so what I did was I took my paper towel tube and I took some painter's tape and I took a paper plate and I just taped it on there so it was nice and secure. I put two big pieces around here and then I put one here just for a little bit of extra reinforcement. And so what you're going to do, of course, your goal is to hit the balloon back and forth if you have someone at home that can play with you. And if not, you can see how many times you can hit it before it touches the ground, or you can time yourself for how many hits you can get in a certain amount of time. Or if you do have someone at home with you, you could put like a chair in between you so that can kind of be like your net, and you can try to rally back and forth. See how many times you hit it before it hits the ground, or you can keep track of, so the person who lets the balloon fall to the ground or hit the ground, they wouldn't get a point, the other person would, and you could go to 10 points or something like that. But it's super fun and it will definitely get you active because you're going to be up moving around and trying to keep that balloon up in the air. So that's just one idea for you. And another idea is if you have some common games at home, like for instance, if you have Jenga, which is just a bunch of little pieces of wood, rectangular prisms. And what you can do, of course, with your parents' permission, or you can be creative if they don't want you actually writing on these themselves, which I did with a permanent marker. So I have 5 push-ups, I have 10 jumping jacks, I have 10 sit-ups, and then you can play the game, but as you pull out your piece of wood, then you need to do the thing that is written on the wood. So you can imagine the game is going to last a little bit longer, and you're also going to be a lot more active than just sitting there and poking and tapping wood blocks. Okay, so that one's a lot of fun. Another one is you can adapt Twister. So if you have the game Twister, then you can, I wouldn't recommend writing on your Twister game with permanent marker, but you could do it on Post-it notes. And so I've got push-ups here, I've got sit-ups here, I have a 30-second plank, 30-second wall sit, jumping jacks, jump up and sit downs. So all kinds of things that I'm sure you could come up with, all kinds of activities that the person would need to do if they have to put their hand or their foot there. And then they also have to remember where they were to come back to that same pose after they're done doing it. Now, the other option you could do is to put these on all of the different circles. And then you can use a bean bag or something soft that you could toss. Maybe you have a very small stuffed animal or something like that you could toss onto the Twister game board, and whatever it lands on, whichever Post-it note, then you would be able to do what that Post-it says, and you would just keep playing until all of the Post-its are gone. All right, so that's another idea. My last idea is to build an obstacle course of some kind or a challenge course of some kind. And so what you would need to do for this is where you get to be creative based on what you have at your home and based on things that you are able to do. You can come up with your own challenges. And again, you can do this against a person, like as a contest, or you could do it against yourself. You can just use a timer on your iPad or your parents' phone or the microwave. You can use a timer of some kind, and you can try to do what's called a PR, which is a personal record. So you would do the whole challenge yourself the first time and see how long it takes you. And then you would do the challenge again and try to beat your time. Now, some ideas for this might include similar things to what I was showing you on those kinds of challenges. And you can make a whole list of the things that you have to be able to do in that certain amount of time or break the record that you set before. But you can also just find objects, like I have this giant shoebox. And so again, with the bean bags or a stuffed animal or something soft, you could have to make it in like 4 times before you're allowed to go to the next thing. And not all of the things have to be something super active. Like for example, if you know Spanish, you could say, okay, after I make in 3 beanbag tosses into the box standing from this line, then I have to count in Spanish to 20 before I can move on to the next thing. And maybe the next thing is you have a jump rope. And again, these can be inside or outside activities. So if you're outside, I wouldn't recommend jump roping in the house unless you have a big open area that you're not going to hit anything or knock anything over. But maybe you have to jump rope 15 times. And then maybe if you have stairs in your house that go down to a basement or to an upstairs, maybe you have to run up and back down the stairs 1 time. Maybe you have to do something like a drawing challenge, like you have to draw an analog clock with all of the numbers on it. So think of different things, a mix of things that might be academic challenges versus movement challenges, and see how many things you can come up with. And then on that list, like I said, you can compete against another person, or you can compete against yourself and try to beat your own time. So all of these are going to leave you feeling great and building up that energy as you use energy. And then at the end, okay, so you need to do some kind of fun prize, right? And so if you're competing against someone, you can make it really interesting. Maybe if you're going against your brother or your sister or your parent, maybe you could negotiate a chore. So if you're going against your brother or your sister, maybe the winner has to make the other person's bed 3 days in a row. Or maybe the other person has to take out the garbage if that's normally your chore. So something like that. Or you can do something fun. You can make, in the Olympics, they have a ribbon that they win with a medal on it. If you need a special gold medal for winning your contest, I don't think many people would turn down a nice gold ribbon like this, where I get to have an edible treat if I win the contest. You could make it be, an oatmeal cream pie or something like that. I just stapled a York peppermint patty as a special treat onto my ribbon. Now you can go healthy if you want to, but you probably burned a few calories while you're doing these activities, so maybe you deserve a sweet treat. So I hope that you enjoyed some of these ideas, and I really hope you'll try them. I think they'll be a lot of fun, whether you're doing them with yourself or you're doing them with someone at your home or a neighbor. I hope that you'll try them and have a great time. And you can tune in next time. I'm on YouTube as Shannon Anderson, but I also have shannonisteaching.com. If you go to my Kids Corner, you can click on that tab and you'll find over 30 so far activities that I have, that some of them are movement things, some of them are crafts, some of them are writing, some of them are speaking Spanish or learning sign language, all kinds of things. So make sure you check that out and try some of them, and I'd love to hear if you like them. We'll see you next time. Bye.